This is the Quran. This book here is Islam. Many people will tell you, this does not represent Islam. This does not represent Islam. This is Islam right here. This is it. Here's why I make that claim, that this book is Islam. Because Muhammad ibn Abdallah, the founder of the Islamic religion and state, claimed that this book is a miracle given to him by the creator of the universe. A message to all people for all time, until life on planet Earth is destroyed by the creator, in order to judge everyone for everything they've ever done through their lives. So if humans follow this book and instructions about how they should live their lives, after they die, they will go to an awesome place called paradise. But if they don't follow the instructions in this book, after they die, they will burn forever until the end of time. Hail Garden. Muhammad told his tribe that he was a prophet. Many didn't believe him. They said, prove it. Prove you're a prophet. So he claimed that this book was his miracle. He said in this book, he said, claiming to be the creator of the universe, that because other prophets came before him with miracles, but their people still did not follow them after seeing the miracles, that this time the creator of the universe is sending humans one last miracle that can be examined. Because when you have a miracle, only the people around you see it. This is a miracle that can be examined by future generations. Isn't that awesome? The Quran is the only Islamic source that is claimed to be from the creator of the universe. This is Islam. This is Islam, right here. This is the only book that all Muslims agree on. Most thinking Muslims have at least one or two hadith that they feel uncomfortable saying publicly, that they're not sure how accurate they are. But most will never critique Quran, especially if there's a devout brother within hearing distance. So why Muslims? Because we need to examine the Quran. We need to examine this book. Examining the Quran and stating that it is not from the creator of the universe is punishable by the law of the land in most Muslim majority countries, not to mention social terrorism. Welcome to the Muslimish Conference. We're going to open this book now, and we're going to see, does it really fit the claim that it's from the creator of the universe? So let's see what we have here. Let's look at, first example I want to show is, I took 6 days to create Earth, and the rest of the universe took 2 days. This, if nothing else, proves that this book is not from the creator of the universe. That's just one example. Let's take example 2. It's example 2 here. I have Surah Al-Ra'd, thunder. Ayah number 2, page 249. Allah الذي رفع السماوات بغير عمد ترونها. God who رفع السماوات, he lifted the sky without columns that you can see. يا عيني ايه ده؟ ايه الدلع ده؟ ايه الحلاوة دي؟ I'm not even going to say why this is wrong. Lifted the sky without columns you can see. First of all, you know what? I'm going to stop. Let's go. I have many examples. I only have 5 minutes, so tell me when I have 1 minute left. Surah Al-Kahf. Surah Al-Kahf is actually a surah that a lot of people read. They like this surah, the cave. And there's importance to that because people just love it. I don't know why. 303, page 303, ayah number 86. حتى إذا بلغ مغرب الشمس وجدها تغرب في عين حمأة. It's talking about this fictional character, Dhul Qarnayn. And he's saying he's basically conquered the world, and when he reached the end of the earth, he found the sun setting in a well of hot mud. No comment, no comment. Surah Al-Baqarah, the cow, page 48. 48. فإن لم يكونا رجلين فرجل وامرأتان. If you don't find two male witnesses, get a man and two women. I've heard arguments on why the inheritance of a woman is kind of like, you can make logic of why it's half the inheritance of a man, but there's no logic that explains why the testimony of a woman should be worth half a testimony of a man in court. There's no reason for that. Hell, women have better memory. If anything, I just, anyway. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. I have so many things. This is two ayahs together. I like to use this example because I think it's like a mathematical example. There are so many mistakes. There are mistakes that are logical, there are scientific, there are numerical, there are grammatical mistakes in a book that's supposed to be a miracle of language. This here is from Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah number 36. That's page 37. Page 37. Okay. وَالْوَالَدَاتُ يُرْضُعْنَ أَوْلَادَهُنَّ حَوْلَيْنِ كَامِلَيْنِ. And the mothers should breastfeed their children for 2 years, full years. Okay, that's 24 months. Okay, remember that because I'm going to go to the other one here. 24 months for breastfeeding, right? حَمْلُهُ وَفِصَالُهُ 30 شهرا. It's talking about حَمْلُهُ, the pregnancy, and فِصَالُهُ, that's like breastfeeding, is 30 months. So breastfeeding and pregnancy is 30 months, and on the other side it says like pregnancy, like that breastfeeding is 2 years. That makes pregnancy 6 months. That's wrong, in case you guys don't know that. Okay, I'm going to stop here. I have many examples, but I have 5 minutes, and there are people I gave most of my time to Riyasat because he has something more important than me to say. I'm going to read you some stuff that I wrote here. I have 1 minute. The Quran is the only pillar Muhammad ibn Abdallah claim to prophethood stands on. So why Muslimish? Large social reform in the Middle East is not possible unless the discussion about the heavenly origins of the Quran happens freely, which is impossible because of the laws prohibiting such discussion and punishing those who leave the faith of Islam by execution. In the United States of America, we have the freedom to have this discussion, and we need to take advantage of this unique privilege and start a discussion about all the verses of Quran that contradict science, logic, and 21st century ethics. Freedom from the rigid framework of the life of Muhammad ibn Abdallah, who is viewed by over 1 billion Muslims as the most honorable man to ever walk on planet Earth, might not change women's condition in the Middle East immediately, but at least primitive acts like kidnapping and enslaving women during war, or a marriage of a 9-year-old girl to a 50-year-old man, could be condemned freely by the society without the fear of burning in eternal hell for allowing the thought of falsehood of Islam to cross their minds, or the more real earthly fear of being accused of questioning Islam. Islam, like all primitive Middle Eastern religion, restricts freedom of thought. It even describes some thought as evil and prohibits humans from contemplating thoughts critical of Islam. Muhammad is a religious and political exception in his influence that still affects the social progress of humans in the 21st century. No religious or political figure in human history has ever reached that level of influence Muhammad ibn Abdallah has had, and still continues to have on as many people for as long of a time. I'm not going to say that part. Slavery is allowed in Islam, and the extreme militants of Daesh / Ikhwan Inc. are working within the limits of what Islamic sources have reported as actions of Muhammad during his life, particularly after his immigration to Medina. Muhammad's Quran has the qualities of a book written by a freedom fighter in Mecca, but a political leader in Medina. Muhammad threatened his wives with divorce after one of his wives, Aisha, found him in her bed with his slave Maria. Muhammad used the Quran as a message from the creator of the universe to threaten his wives for him. For over a billion humans to regard a book contradictory to scientific information, a book that allows slavery, states that women's testimony in court is worth half a man's testimony, and includes plenty of violent verses that for many who read the book without understanding the context in which Muhammad used these verses in, will understand the verses to mean exactly what they say. Kill them whenever you find them. Discussion about the truth of Islam cannot be had in mosques. Muslimish is a space where people who still identify with Islam in one way or another can freely discuss the issues they have with Islam, teachings that don't make sense to them, family pressures, scientific facts that cannot be ignored. Understanding that life on earth started and evolved will liberate humans from their slavery to an unseen God, who in his final message to humans elevated obedience above all other values and discouraged followers from asking the question that might make them worse if they knew the answers. We were not banished to planet Earth. We came from planet Earth. And we are alive. So let's make it count. Thank you for coming to the Muslims 2016 conference. Thank you. Yes.